Sunday. Dundee against Rangers with Ian McCall and Alistair Lammett.
Thanks again, Kenny. Welcome to Dens Park for the final game of the day between two sides who produced fabulous and probably slightly unexpected derby victories pre-international break. And now the question is, can they recapture that form after the hiatus? From a competitive perspective, Dundee in greater need of the points as they look to move out of the relegation playoff position. But clearly the demand is always there for Rangers to win as well. And they haven't managed to do that on either of their last two visits to Dens, including the 1-1 here. That was back in January when Adewumi and Czerny got the goals. It was a nothing each year towards the end of last season, which in tandem with a draw up in Dingwall really scuppered Rangers' title challenge at that stage. And so Dundee looking to perhaps emulate that, perhaps even go one better. It's been a fair old time since they last recorded a victory over Rangers. In fact, Neil McCann, the current Rangers coach, was in charge of Dundee back in November 2017 when they got a 2-1 victory here. No wins in 16 for Dundee against Rangers. But it will be the visitors who are in white tops, blue shorts and white socks to kick us off, going from left to right as we look at it from the back of the main stand. Dundee in their traditional navy kit, white shorts and navy socks, and are off and running. And Ian, I think you've already spotted that it does look like a three at the back with Dujon Sterling in alongside John Suter and Leon Balogun. So clearly mind games from those wily old Rangers coaches that we know so well.
Well, they didn't fool me, they maybe fooled you, Al, but yeah, I mean, you could tell how high Tavernier and Yilmaz's starting positions were. That's a back three.
And here is Yilmaz, the Turk, on the left-hand side. It's a slightly awkward pass, and Raskan hasn't been able to gather, and it allows Dundee to try and break forward. And these players, including Adewumi, who's into the box, and he fires it across goal, and it's knocked away by Tavernier and behind for an early Dundee corner. And it was a moment of carelessness in the middle of the park from Rangers, and Dundee almost capitalising.
They did, and you've got to think Adewumi should have shot there. You know, he played a decent ball across, but I mean, he was on an angle, but he's only about 12-16 yards away. I thought he should have drilled it a goal.
It's exactly the type of start that Rangers have been guilty of over the course of this season, and the kind of thing that Barry Ferguson was surely trying to iron out. And yet between Yilmaz and Raskan, they made a mess of it in the middle of the park. They can't blame the surface, because as Michael and Ian have been saying, it's absolutely ideal. It is blustery out there, but it was a simple enough looking ball along the ground that was just misplaced. And here come Dundee from the corner, right hand side, outswinger from Robertson, and it's gone into the back of the net from Simon Murray. A minute and a half on the clock, and what a start for Dundee. He caught it sweetly on the volley, more or less in the penalty spot. Rangers all at sea. What an amazing start to this game. Dundee 1, Rangers 0.
Listen, it's a fantastic finish. I was watching Simon Murray. He took a little wee step away from his man, went towards the ball, and he just got his foot in front of his marker. I don't know, I think it was Tavernier was picking him up, but it was in slow motion as it went into the net. I don't know if Butland should do better, I don't know, but it looked as if it was right in the corner. Great finish.
Well, I mean, Simon Murray, he has been on absolute fire this season. 19 goals for Dundee. A blistering start to this contest, and it all comes from the Rangers error inside the opening minute. You can see an early corner, and then Finn Robertson's delivery was on the money for Murray, and he volleyed. As Ian says, it did look kind of like it was happening in slow motion, as Butland couldn't stretch far enough to tip it away, and Simon Murray made his way across to the Derry to celebrate with the home fans. And it just could not have started any better for Tony Docherty's side. Rangers need to show a response, and quickly.
And what it does do, Al, as well, is it enhances their game plan, because they can now definitely play in the counter-attack with the pace they've got in the forward areas.
It's a Dundee throw-in just inside Tony Docherty's dugout down there, midway inside their own half, to be taken by Ziad Larkesh, the French fullback. Rangers have got it back, flick forward for Dessers. He and Diamonde trying to link up. It's Diamonde who takes over on the halfway line and plays it out to Yilmaz. Yilmaz comes forward, high ball looking into the box, and it's well, it was aimed at Dessers, but it was way off target, and actually it hits the side netting. Almost gave Trevor Carson a little bit of a problem in the end with the windy conditions, but as it turns out, behind for a goal kick. 3.5 minutes played, and already Dundee 1, Rangers 0.
I think there is a slight change. I think, you know, Egeman is actually playing right up front with Dessers, and there's only one in the hole. It's Diamonde's in the hole with the two sitters.
Yeah, Raskan and Barron, the two in the midfield, as Carson prepares to take this goal kick. Over the halfway line it goes. Raskan wins the header, the young Belgian, as we were talking about pre-match, getting the international recognition his recent performances have deserved, and making the most of it, given a standing ovation by all accounts in the return leg against Ukraine, as Belgium turned round a 3-1 first leg defeat in the Nations League playoff to win 3-0 in that second leg. And Raskan very important in that performance. Rangers have it on the left hand side. It's into Dessers, touches it back for Diamonde. He's just nudged to the ground there by Mulligan. It'll be a Rangers free kick on the halfway line, quickly taken, and Raskan quickly closed down, goes all the way back to Jack Butland on the edge of his area, plays it short to John Souttar, part of the Scotland team that lost so disappointingly. It's a poor pass from Souttar, again completely needless. What's it, a 4 or 5 yard pass to Dujon Sterling, and Sterling forced to really be on his toes to keep the ball for Rangers, but a couple of moments of slackness there that Barry Ferguson will surely be irked by, particularly the one that has effectively cost them the opening goal. Here's Barron though, clipping it forward. Dessers could be in behind Joe Shaughnessy here, trying to hold him off, gets the shot away, but it's tugged it wide. Perhaps should have done better having got in behind Shaughnessy, but it's wide of the left hand post, and it remains Dundee 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a perhaps about it. I mean, I think he's got to score. I think he's more intent with holding off Shaughnessy rather than trying to get his strike away, and he's not caught it cleanly at all. I think the net's got to bulge, and I think that's a really good chance.
Cyril Dessers has certainly provided a lot of goals for Rangers, but he's missed a fair old few as well, as Murray tries to squeeze it through for Tiffany. It's just blocked on its way through. It's picked up by Larkesh, and now it's Robertson, whose delivery from either side from corner kicks is excellent. He can send them in from either foot, and that one that provided the opening goal was a right foot outswinger right on the toe of Simon Murray, who directed it beyond Jack Butland for a goal inside 90 seconds. And that is the difference between the sides 6 minutes in. You're listening to Sports Sound here on BBC Radio Scotland, our final game of the evening, with Ross County against Dundee United to come tomorrow. Full live coverage of that coming up as Rangers win the ball back deep in their own territory, but it's given away poorly, and Dundee can perhaps try and build something here, and just a moment of miscontrol there from Simon Murray inside the Rangers penalty area, and but for that they could have been in again.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the things, they're pushing Jordan McGee, the right back, so high up onto Yilmaz and trying to play the ball on top of him. They've done it 3 or 4 times in the opening minutes, you know, and he'll be in there every day of the week.
Yeah, that's a mismatch, isn't it? Jordan McGee, who's among many players in dark blue who were excellent in that win over Dundee United, getting a couple of goals, and both of them really, really well taken. Here's Mulligan trying to feed it forward for Adewumi, who's in a slightly different wavelength there. He was coming short as Mulligan tried to play him in long, and Balogun picks up possession and down near his own corner flag. Again, it's a rather loose ball forward, but Raskan latches onto it, and he was knocked to the ground there by Mulligan, and it will be a Rangers free kick over on the far side, midway inside their own half, left hand side, played back to Balogun. Rangers trailing by an early Simon Murray goal to nil. It's 5-5 for Murray in the league now. Included that last minute penalty against Dundee United, which I think it's fair to say he enjoyed, judging by the celebrations. And Souttar picks up possession 10 yards inside his own half, plays it back the way to Balogun, who sweeps out to the left hand side to Yilmaz, just inside the Dundee half, plays it short into Egeman, who's dropped off the front, comes back the way into his own half, almost loses out. Balogun has to step in to help him, and now it's picked up by Raskan, who plays it into the centre circle for Barron. He feeds it forward, looking for Diamonde. Silla, though, snapping into the challenge to win that. Diamonde stayed down, slowly picking himself up as Silla is fouled by Dessers. Dundee will have the free kick on the edge of the centre circle inside their own half. Barry Ferguson out barking orders on the touchline. His side have not started this game well at all.
No, they haven't. One of the things you won't be happy about was a long ball played forward about just a couple of minutes ago. 3 centre-backs against Simon Murray. He's in 5 yards of space to go and take the ball in and link.
Trevor Carson way out of his goal to take this free kick. Waving his centre-backs forward. He's going to play this long. Balogun, though, gets his head to it, plays it forward, looking for Dessers, who won't manage to keep it in, though, over on the far side. And Shaughnessy thinks about the quick throw-in, thinks better of it, and then just leaves it to McGee to take this one. About 10 yards or so inside Rangers territory. Over on the far side, gets it back from Mulligan, feeds it forward, headed away, but picked up by Silla. Now Robertson inside the centre circle, out to Larkesh on this left-hand side. The wind is causing a few issues, certainly causing the ball, even on the ground, to roll that bit faster as Tiffany tries to feed it forward. And again, that's the type of pass that the wind's just going to catch it, and that was easily grabbed by Butland as Mulligan tried to make up the ground, couldn't do so. And now it's Suter back to Butland. Dundee will try and hem Rangers in when they play out from the back, but Rangers have got it forward quickly, looking for Dessers. Shaughnessy's there first, though. What I would say about that chance just a moment ago for Dessers, as much as he should have hit the target, he did well to hold Shaughnessy off, and that's a warning for Shaughnessy up against Dessers in that position. Yeah,
he got himself. Shaughnessy got himself on the wrong side, but I thought he was too, just thinking about holding the man off and just forgot about the finish, because I thought it was a really good shot. Any connection across the goal, it's a goal.
10 minutes in, Dundee 1, Rangers 0. The goal coming in 2 minutes for Simon Murray. With Rangers starting very poorly, and they've yet to really venture into the Dundee half with any great purpose. But here's Yilmaz coming forward down the left-hand side, looking for a pass forward. It's cut out quite comfortably, though, and the ball bobbling about in the middle of the park. Diamonde again challenged well by Silla. He's not been given a moment on the ball, but he's taken down by Silla. That was a pretty crude challenge, and actually David Dickinson's going to his pocket. A pretty early yellow card's a justified one, Ian?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't think there's any intent, but he's going to go and win the ball, but he's a wee bit late, and he's caught him. I don't think Diamonde's hurt, but he's certainly caught him.
So Silla into the book, 11 minutes in, the first yellow card of the game. Diamonde certainly not hurt sufficiently to require treatment. He's back on his feet as Rangers ponder the free kick right in the halfway line. Rascan's over it as Tavernier comes across to get a word in his ear from Neil McCann, who, along with the rest of the Rangers management team, can't be happy with the way their side have started the game. It's back with Balogun just inside his own half, plays it forward looking for Eagleman, but Shaughnessy was quickly in on him to win it, and Balogun has to stretch the long right leg to ensure that Murray can't latch on to the ball, and Rangers get a free kick over on this near side, the Rangers right. They just haven't settled at all well. Tavernier now speaking to Diamonde, presumably passing on whatever Neil McCann was saying to him. I think maybe trying to get him a bit further forward up the park to try and influence things, as Tavernier picks up on the right hand side and plays it into Barron. Barron to the right to Sterling, and now it's Suter just coming forward and then finding Tavernier, and Barron out to the right hand side looking for the run of Suter. Suter was not going to reach that, but Donnelly taking no chances with Dessers close to him, just knocks it out for a throw-in rather than just trying to shepherd it out for a goal kick, which he might have been able to do, but as I say, not taking any chances, and it's going to allow Tavernier to come up. And I think one of the most interesting things out of that Old Firm game was I learned that James Tavernier's got a good long throw on him, which we've never really seen him use previously, but it looks like he's going to try and use it again here at Dens Park, about 10 yards from the corner flag on the right hand side, and it comes into the 6-yard box. It's Silla that wins it. Eagleman didn't catch the volley first time, then he had a chance to try and flick it goalwards. That didn't come off, and Dundee are forward, and Tippery's in if Adewumi can find him, and he just couldn't in the end. It was Sterling who went across to stop Adewumi in his tracks. If he could just have got the head up and the pass, Tiffany was in absolutely acres of space.
It was absolutely the type of break we've been talking about. Not that the Dundee are sitting in, but they won the ball early there, and they got at the Rangers within seconds, and Tiffany was on right through the middle.
Adewumi just unable to bring it under control and get the pass off, but here is Tiffany finding Larkesh. Sterling's trying to stick with him. Larkesh still gets the pass in, and again it's Balogun who's there just before Murray, but it's out for a throw in to Dundee. I think what we can definitely say is Dundee are going to get more chances in this game, Ian.
Yeah, absolutely, right at this minute. I mean, we thought it was going to be a back four. I think it'd be better with the back four. I think Tiffany and Adewemi are pushing Yilmaz and Tavernier back, so therefore higher up the pitch, Rangers haven't got any width.
Yep, here's Donnelly lining up a long throw for Dundee. Played almost 14 minutes at Dens. It's Dundee 1, Rangers 0. Simon Murray the goal scorer, as Donnelly prepares to launch this one into the penalty area. Shawkness in there trying to cause problems. Suter gets it half clear, only as far as Donnelly, who returns it with a head. Shawkness is still in there, he can't make anything of it this time, and Rangers do get it clear. Now it's Egeman. Oh, that's a nice turn away from Mulligan. Can he get the pass off to Dessers? No, it's a poor pass in the end. Silla able to make the interception. Egeman did the first part well, but it couldn't execute the pass, otherwise Dessers would have been in behind. But the chance is gone for Rangers as Larkesh picks up and goes back the way to Donnelly, just outside his own penalty area. Back to Carson on his goal line, takes one touch and then fires it long up to the halfway line. Rascan wins the header, then Diamondi's done well. Dessers is inside the penalty area. It's just the equaliser. Great save, Carson, to push it away, and I think it's going to stay in play. No, Dessers eventually just lets that run behind for a corner kick over on the far side. Dessers catching it well on his left foot, powerfully enough hit, but straight at the keeper in the end, who still had to react to divert it away from goal, and it remains Dundee 1, Rangers 0.
You know, that's two chances now though. Yeah, I mean, he did strike it well, but these, you know, for a Rangers number 9, those two, they've got to be goals. At least one of them's got to be a goal.
It is simply a corner, as Dessers twice unable to notch the equaliser, but it will be a corner kick from the left hand side, swung in by Tavernier to the back post. Suter rising, but he can't get it back across goal. Donnelly trying to keep it in, fails to do so. Rangers throwing down near the corner flag on the right hand side as they attack, and that'll mean Tavernier will come across again and presumably send another long throw in. Quarter of an hour gone at Dens Park, the home side leading by a goal to nil, and Rangers try and find themselves an equaliser early in this first period. Tavernier again winding up a long one, asking Balogun, I think it is, to come to the near post, and it comes. Balogun who attacks it. Silla's there as well, does just enough to put him off. Murray fires it high in the air out of the penalty area. Egeman with just a massive punt up in the air. It's pretty ineffective, and Tavernier can't bring it under control, and now Tiffany will bring Dundee forward. He skips past Barron, he's just played it too far in front of him though, and Sterling goes and mops up, plays it back to Butland, who doesn't look comfortable with the ball back, and he just knocks it out of play on this near side. Dundee throwing down in front of us about 30 yards, maybe 25 from the corner flag, left hand side, and the home side continue to lead by that early Simon Murray goal to nil.
Again, it's that pace, Al, that just got them up the pitch. You're right, Tiffany played it too far in front, but he's got his whole team 8 yards up the pitch. They've now got a long throw in the box and an opportunity to score a goal.
Donnelly again will come across to the left hand side and send the long throw in. Plenty of Dundee bodies forward. Shaughnessy at the near post. Simon Murray lurking around the penalty spot as Donnelly hurls it into the 6 yard box. Suter wins it, nods it behind for a corner. This time in the Dundee left, and it'll be Robertson again who provided the assist for the opener, who'll come across to this near side and deliver the corner kick as Dundee look for a second goal in the opening 17 or 18 minutes here. Robertson again, looks like it'll be a right-footed in-swinger this time, a packed 6 yard box as Rangers will look to try and keep Dundee out on this occasion, which they failed to do with the first one. It's a near post ball, it's come back out to Robertson. Gets to the byline, tries to get it on the left foot, forced behind for another corner off Yilmaz.
You thought he might have fancied that just to strike a goal there, young Robertson, when the ball came back out to him. Just tried to curl it in at the far post.
So here he is again, down in the Dundee left, right-footed, preparing the in-swinger. Jack Butland with the sun in his eyes somewhat. It's aimed at Shaughnessy, can't quite reach it. It's going to come back out to Robertson yet again on this left-hand side. Turns away from Egeman, runs into Rascan, who simply knocks it out of play inadvertently. And it'll be another Dundee throw, and another chance for Aaron Donnelly to come forward and put the ball back into the Rangers box. Good pressure this from Dundee. They played principally in the counter-attack, but hemming Rangers in here. 18 minutes played, they have a goal to nil advantage as Donnelly prepares to launch this one long again, using the wind. Raskan rises at the near post, half clear, and picked up on the edge of the box by Egeman. He can't link with Dessers though. Larkey sends it back in. Shaughnessy looks offside. Butland spills it. Shaughnessy knocks it in. It's in the back of the net. Now I wonder if he was offside. It will be looked at. The flag is down though, and it's Shaughnessy who celebrates another massive error by Jack Butland, very similar to the one against Motherwell when he spilled it when it looked an easy take for him. Looked to be such an easy save for Jack Butland. It is in the back of the net, courtesy of the Dundee skipper, and for the moment at least, it's Dundee 2, Rangers 0.
Yeah, I think it's really, really tight, but I think Murray was the guy that was offside at first, and then Shaughnessy got onto it. But you're right though, Al. Butland, I mean, that's a shocker, just like the one was it against Motherwell.
Yeah, well, we will see what VAR make of it. Andrew Dallas in the VAR room, but my instinct was that actually Shaughnessy was still in an offside position when the ball came back into the box. Again, it's careless on the edge of the box between Egeman trying to link with Dessers. He loses possession, the ball comes back into the Rangers penalty area. Shaughnessy had an initial shot that Butland should have dealt with, didn't gather it, and then both Murray and Shaughnessy had efforts. Shaughnessy bundled it in, and now we await the officials' discussion. Was that onside? Do Dundee have a 2-goal lead with 20 minutes on the clock? David Dickinson awaiting the instruction from the VAR room. This will be a big let-off for Jack Butland and Rangers if they do get away with it, if he was offside. Still we wait, so it must be pretty tight, as Rangers have got the ball in the centre spot, ready to kick off again. They could find themselves 2 goals down away from home, as they did in Barry Ferguson's first game in charge down at Rugby Park. On that occasion they came back to win 4-2, but it is giving themselves a bit of a mountain to climb. Still we wait the decision. It must be exceptionally
really tight. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right about Egeman. Egeman's either got to just hold the ball in there or hook it clear, and he's trying to play a little header around the corner that just hasn't come on and wasn't really on.
Still no decision. Oh, the goal is given. So Shaughnessy has his goal. Rangers are 2 down. Jack Butland again punished. And he's come up with some top saves for Rangers over the years, most recently at Celtic Park, but it's a huge error from him, and it allows Joe Shaughnessy to make it Dundee 2, Rangers 0. What a scoreline this is with little over 20 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, really amazing. I mean, Dessers has had a couple of good chances. Dundee have been clinical, and they've looked really, really dangerous, and not just in the counter-attack, just when they're getting forward.
Rangers have an opportunity here as Diamondi goes for goal. I think the free kick has ultimately been given for a foul on Carson, but Diamondi's shot was off target in any case. I mean, it hasn't been an impressive start by Rangers. Careless in possession, and it's cost them dearly, as has the mistake there by Butland. I mean, it's almost inexplicable. A goalkeeper of his quality, it was such a straightforward collection for him.
Well, listen, I think it was the Motherwell game that I covered. There was a similar type of mistake. But right at this minute, Dundee's formation is absolutely getting on top of Rangers' formation. The 3 up front are causing the back 3 all sorts of problems.
Back with Carson, who just launches it up to the halfway line. And I can tell you that that second goal means that Rangers, for the first time since April of 1986, have conceded 2 or more goals in 5 consecutive league games. Quite astonishing. And the defence has looked all over the place at the outset here, and they've given themselves a massive task. But Dundee, on the flip side of that, well, they've been terrific. They really have lifted off where they stopped prior to that international break. Here come Rangers again though. It's Yilmaz into the penalties. Another really poor delivery from Yilmaz, who's having a bit of a stinker out there in the left wing back position. Barry Ferguson out in the touchline. He's not at all happy, and it's unsurprising.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically trying to play, all they're doing is playing in front of Dundee. And by that, I don't mean Dundee are really sitting deep. They're not. But they're trying to play in front. They've got no offer behind. The actual 2 chances they've had was Dessers making a little 5-10 yard movements beyond.
Dundee goal kick. Trevor Carson poised to take. And Tony Docherty will be well aware of Rangers' ability to come back from such a position, but it's certainly not ideal as far as the visitors are concerned. As Tavernier next possession and finds Eagleman, looks for Diamondi again, doesn't find the correct pass. Silla able to get a toe to it, and Dundee pick up possession, and it's Adewumi. He's lost out though, and Eagleman comes very deep to knock it back to Butland. Butland first time launches it straight out of play. Dundee fans are absolutely loving this, and well, rightly so. The team are in a terrific position, and you're right, tactically at least at the moment Dundee have got it spot on, haven't they?
Well, listen, you know, Barry and the guys have had a lot of praise for changing the formation, and I think it did work for them, and they got some good results. It's not working in this game. I think they need to change to 4. Whether they will or not, I don't know, depending on who scores the next goal.
The next goal is absolutely crucial, isn't it? As Mulligan tries to play the ball forward for Adewumi, in steps Yilmaz, gets it back from Diamondi midway inside his own half, closed down. That's a poor challenge. Robertson picks up the free kick. It is at the back of the net. The free kick's already been given. Yeah, it was a poor challenge by Mulligan on Yilmaz, and the Dundee fans round about us hadn't noticed that. They were just busy cheering as the ball ended up in the back of the net from the boot of Robertson, but the free kick had already been given, and I think on that occasion you have to say the referee got it right. It was a foul.
Oh, spot on. I mean, it was a very simple decision. It was you could tell it was a foul from here. Comfortable.
Here's Sterling, 10 yards inside his own half, playing it forward. It's an aimless one. Donnelly knocks it forward. It's Murray looking to link with Mulligan. That's a misplaced pass from him though, and Suter picks up, and now Sterling, but against Sterling has misplaced his ball, and Dundee have it back, but not for long, as Raskan tries to find Dessers. Shocked to say though, in the way, gets a little bit of a break there, and then is able to play it back to Trevor Carson inside his own 6-yard box. He goes long up towards Adewumi, who fails to flick it on. We played 25 minutes here. It's Dundee 2, Rangers 0, as Silla finds Mulligan, and Dundee look to break forward once more. Raskan holding Mulligan up for now. Yilmaz comes back, and Rangers have it back in their possession. It's forward to Eagleman. Dessers is up with him. He tries to clip it in for him. It's a lovely ball from Eagleman. Dessers working hard to try and keep possession. Larkesh and Donnelly though combine to rob him, and Dundee pick up inside their own territory. Robertson plays a risky pass, almost loses out to Tavernier, but he can't keep the ball in. The Rangers skipper is behind for a Dundee goal kick. We've played 26 minutes here in the City of Discovery, and Tony Docherty down there at the edge of his technical area, and he'll be absolutely delighted with the scoreline, which reads Dundee 2, Rangers 0.
And merited as well. Again, their Dessers, you know, I think he's got to do better with his touch, but it's really good movement away from the ball from him, but his touch just wasn't there on that occasion.
Rangers have actually alternated, I think over the last 9 games it is, between a win and a defeat, and in that pattern they are due a defeat in this one, but I'm sure they are looking to stray from that. But as things stand, the Dundee fans aren't happy, because what happened was Conor Barron effectively was going to knock it out for a throw-in, but the ball took a touch of David Dickinson, and it's going to be given back to Rangers. So whereas they were going to lose possession as a result of a throw-in to Dundee, just because of I suppose a little flaw in the rules, if you like, that the ball is given back to the visiting side. But they don't keep it for long, to be fair. Very sportingly giving it back to Dundee there, albeit I'm sure it wasn't intended, as Balogun heads it back to Jack Butland under a bit of pressure there. 27.5 minutes played. Rangers toiling here in Dundee, as they have done on the previous 2 visits, but they did earn draws on those occasions. They'll be doing well to get a draw out of this one. They have to really pick up in the remainder of this game. They haven't really forced a save of any great note from Trevor Carson thus far, as Tavernier though pokes it through to Eagleman. bites it. It's a terrible pass, looking for Sterling, who was way up in the right wing position, but Eagleman gets it all wrong, right behind for a goal kick. I wouldn't be surprised if Rangers are already thinking about changes, because there's a few of them out there just haven't turned up yet.
I think it's a shape, but I think, Eagleman, it's really, really surprising. I mean, he is loaded with talent, and you'd have thought the goal at Celtic Park would have got his confidence absolutely flying again, but he's giving the ball away, his passing's poor. I mean, he's working hard enough. It's just on the ball that's not particularly good.
Well, it's a goal kick taken by Trevor Carson, won there by Sterling, and then knocked out of play by Dundee. Is there a bit of activity there on the Rangers bench? They're certainly getting players out to warm up. Whether they're going to actually make changes at this juncture, I'm not sure, but a warning for those players on the field of play. They have to buck up their ideas, because Barry Ferguson will be the first to let them know this is simply not good enough for a Rangers side.
It is, and Barry turned round there when Eagleman kicked out the park again, and I think he's saying, right, that's it, get him off. I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
Well, what I would say is that he showed an element of ruthlessness. He was just in the door when he took
Kilmarnock game.
Yeah, Kilmarnock game. He took Nsiala off after about half an hour when things were clearly not going his way. And to be fair, they did turn it round then. And it's maybe a little bit harsh on a young player, which Eagleman also is. But that's what a manager's paid to do, is identify where things are going wrong, change it if necessary. And we'll wait and see if there are any changes to be made at this juncture. We've played half an hour, and it is Dundee 2, Rangers nil. We are being critical here of the Rangers' performance, but take nothing away from Dundee, who have been absolutely excellent, and they have, as you say, Ian, have been absolutely clinical when they get the chances.
They have been, and I think it's important to add, they haven't just been sitting in. That's definitely not been the type of performance. But they look, when they do get a chance to break, the pace that they're getting at Rangers with is fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, their league position really, I think, betrays what we are seeing out there. They definitely do not look like the second worst team in the Premiership right now. And here they come forward, a lovely bit of play from Mulligan to lose Yilmaz. Ball into the box is headed away by Balogun, and out for a throw over on the far side. But Yilmaz is another one who's could easily be taken off here.
Mulligan is potentially a top player. I've seen him a few times recently, but Yilmaz one-on-one defending, it just isn't good enough. On that occasion, it just wasn't good enough.
So Dundee have a throw-in, which is going to be taken by Shaughnessy, the scorer of the second Dundee goal, his second of the season. A long throw comes in from the right-hand side. It's flicked on at the near post. Butler now comes out and gathers that inside his 6-yard box. But this game is going perfectly to plan for Tony Docherty and his side so far, as Diamondi bundles into Larkesh and concedes the free kick just inside the Rangers half. 31 on the clock. Dundee 2, Rangers 0. You listen to Sports Sound, you'll catch Sports Scene on the telly, highlights of this one and in the other. Plenty of goals in the Premiership for you to tune into. It's BBC Scotland channel from 7:15 tonight, and I'm sure the Rangers fans won't exactly be flocking to see this one just at the moment, unless they can mount another comeback. Donnelly's free kick then from just inside the Rangers half into the back post area. Balogun wins it above Shaughnessy, knocks it out of play over on the far side. Another Dundee throw-in, which they again from either right or left, Shaughnessy and Donnelly, the centre backs, come up to take the long throws, although Adewumi's going across there to offer himself short. He's waved away by the captain, Shaughnessy, who is winding up another long throw, knowing that Rangers defence is far from well organised just at the moment. And it comes, it's Dessers who wins it inside his own penalty. Diamondi trying to make something of it, but he's crowded out, still battling away, but he's lost out to Larkesh. He's furious, he's looking for a free kick. Don't think he merited it. He was just simply couldn't get between the two Dundee players. And forward come the home side once more, and it's McGee right hand side up against Balogun, gets the cross in, flicked on by Adewumi. Murray's at the near post, knocked away by Suter, picked up by Shaughnessy about 30 yards from goal. Eagleman makes the challenge, and then Suter helps it clear once more. Robertson returns it only to Yilmaz. Now Diamondi out to Egan left-hand side. Rangers have only got really Dessers up in support. They've got bodies coming forward now, though. Egan plays it out to Tavernier, right-hand side, just outside the penalty area, waiting for further support to arrive. It's Egan once more, takes a poor first touch, ends up back with Tavernier. Raskin now out to the right-hand side for Sterling, about 25 from goal at the angle of the box, right-hand side, looking for options, tries to play it into the feet of Tavernier, who then leaves it to Barron. He tries to curl one into the 6-yard box, but it's a cross that is far too close to Trevor Carston. An easy take for the veteran keeper. 33 played, Dundee 2, Rangers 0.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, Conor Barron's done really, really well, but sometimes maybe he gets too much of the ball. You know, he's good when he gets it, plays it, gets it, and he plays it, gets it. You know, when he's got a bit of time, you know, he needs to produce a wee bit more, I think.
Murray doing well there against Suter. The ball ends up with Adewumi, who just tries to slip it back into the path of Murray, but Raskin had read it and knocks it back to Butland, who's badly at fault for Dundee's second goal. Larkesh picks up possession and then gets it back from Silla. A few mistakes have crept into Butland's game that just weren't there in his first season at Rangers, as Tiffany, don't think, as he kept that in. Well, the assistant referee wasn't up with play. He won't know if that's gone out for a goal kick or not. He was struggling. Now, I don't blame him to keep up with Tiffany.
He was literally, yeah, but he should have been closer than 15 yards. It looked out from here. Yeah,
but it is actually been given as a throw-in rather than a goal kick to Rangers, which Sterling has gone back down near the corner flag to take. Rangers trailing by 2-0. Murray and Shaughnessy with the goals early in this game. And Rangers with it all to do. Otherwise, well, at the moment they're 16 behind Celtic. Clearly the title is well beyond them. But what they're trying to do is just prevent Celtic winning it early in the season. But, at the moment, they could win it before the split if Rangers can't claw this one back, as Murray picks up possession, tries to get it to Tiffany. Tavernier's in the way though, wins possession on the halfway line, can't find a teammate with the pass forward. He's looking for Dessers, but Shaughnessy is in there. Donnelly's giving it straight to Yilmaz over on the left hand side, and plenty of space. Let's see what he can do this time. Oh my word, he has looked for Diamonde. I mean, Yilmaz is a player of undoubted quality, but absolutely nothing he has done so far this evening has gone to plan, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jefty gets himself stripped here and comes on for Yilmaz.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be too strong, but you know, that was a 15-20 yard pass, just a wee slide round the corner, just, you know, down the line for Diamonde to run onto, and he's kicked out of the park.
Goal kick is taken. 10 minutes until the interval. Dundee leading by 2-0, and the Rangers' performance, particularly first half at Celtic Park, is as Barry Ferguson himself acknowledged pre-match, it's in the past. Rangers can't, live on that type of performance if they're not going to produce it week in, week out, and certainly they're not producing it here. Diamonde picks up possession. They could do with a goal back before half-time to avoid a real bollocking from their manager at half-time. I suspect that's coming anyway, but they've got thrown over on the far side. As Yilmaz will take it, left-hand side, about 15 yards from the corner flag. In fact, Tavernier's going across to take it, so clearly the new interim Rangers coaching team want Tavernier to use this long throw he has in his armoury more regularly than previous managers have. Let's see if it can yield something here for Rangers in a positive sense. From the left-hand side then, Tavernier hurls it into the near post area. It's won well in the penalty area by Dundee Head, and then not long, and here goes Adewumi, and he has beaten Dujon Sterling for pace. Sterling doing well to get back at him, and he's done really well to make the challenge and force it behind for a corner, because it looked like Adewumi was away there, and I thought Adewumi was in for a third Dundee goal. Credit to Sterling to make up the ground once more, knock it behind for a corner, but Rangers are completely open at the back on the counter.
Yeah, it was just one long ball over the top. I'm not even sure it was a pass. I thought it might have been a clearance from Simon Murray. You thought Adewemi was away, but listen, credit Sterling. He made up the ground. It was a really, really good defender.
Corner kick then, right-hand side, which is where the opening goal came from. Adewemi, he looked like he'd left Sterling for dead, but credit the defender, made up a yard or two and forced it behind for a corner, which is going to be taken by Robertson. Flights it into more or less the back post area. Donnelly fall kindly for him the second attempt as he won the first header, but then Suter knocks it out of play here in this near side. A Dundee throw-in down near the corner flag on their left flank as they come forward. We're played 38 minutes and Dundee lead by 2-0. Murray and then Shaughnessy with the goals in this opening period as Donnelly winds up another long throw in here in front of the Rangers fans behind Jack Butland's goal. Dundee looking for a third before the interval. In it comes to the 6-yard box. Shaughnessy nods it down. That may be a handball from Tavernier. The Dundee fans in front of us claiming for it, certainly. Now his arm might have been by his side, but it did look to come off his arm. Again, VAR will check that. It was inside the penalty area as Rangers have brought possession forward into the Dundee half. Raskin though leaves the ball behind as he tries to turn away, and then Adewumi brought to the deck by Balogun. It'll be a Dundee free kick inside the centre circle. A talking to from the referee for Balogun, and a chance for Andrew Dallas, the VAR, to check that potential handball claim. Ian McCall.
My initial thought was you can't give a penalty for that, but I did think it hit his hand, but I mean it wasn't out, it wasn't an unnatural position. But it's funny with all the Dundee fans around us, any little tackle they are up in arms. Even somebody taking a yard for a throw and they're up in arms about it.
Free kick about to be taken. Don't think that if the VAR, well, they would have checked it, but it was a pretty quick check. I think Ian's reading of that probably right, as the free kick is launched aimlessly behind for a goal kick, which Rangers will take short. Butland to Balogun. Just about 5 minutes left of the first period. Rangers trailing by 2-0 as Mulligan picks up. Murray trying to get the ball back to him. Suter now plays it out to the right hand side to Tavernier. Tavernier over the top looking for Eagleman. Out comes Carson to the edge of his box and gathers that one. And the passes from Rangers, well, that looked like a better one, but just overhit in the end from Tavernier. But they've not been falling to feet. And Rangers, they really haven't troubled the Dundee goalkeeper at all, Ian.
No, just Dessers has a couple of really good opportunities, but it's just beyond they hurt them beyond when they move beyond. That's a free kick all day long. Nope.
No, the referee didn't see it that way as Tiffany went down under the challenge of Sterling, and it will be a goal kick to Rangers. Jack Butland to take under 5 minutes to play in this first period. The home side leading by 2-0. They haven't beat Rangers in the last 16 attempts. No wins in the last 7 at home in the league at all. And here's Eagleman coming forward, looking to bring Rangers back into the game. Good save that occasion from Trevor Carson, forcing it behind for the corner. Good hit from Eagleman. Decent save from Trevor Carson, diving away to his left to keep the scoreline at Dundee 2, Rangers 0.
Yeah, good play, really positive from Eagleman. You know, a great first touch, got on his right foot, and it was a good save. You'd expect Trevor Carson to make it, but it was still a good save.
That's a couple he's had now. He denied Dessers earlier on, to be fair, but flying away to his left hand side there to keep Eagleman out as well. Tavernier from the corner kick, right hand side, a header comes in, it's off the line. It's brilliant from Simon Murray to keep that one out. Still the ball's not entirely clear. Diamondi tries to get it across goal, bodies hitting the deck left, right and centre inside the penalty area as the referee will now come across and have a look. Didn't look to be a foul in there that I could see, certainly not that would result in a penalty, but again VAR will check for any such an incident. But going back to the earlier effort, the header came in, I think potentially was it Balogun who got his head to it, but Simon Murray doing a brilliant job here to get the ball off the line.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely outstanding. I thought there was a push on a Dundee player before the initial header. I don't know if VAR would have looked at it, but I thought it was a clear push. But other than that, I mean, Carson and I think it was Simon Murray was on the line.
It was definitely Murray on the line.
Yeah, did brilliantly to keep it out of the net.
Yeah, well, the referee just tidying things up inside the penalty area now. I think it's going to be ultimately a free kick to Dundee as the end result of that. But Simon Murray certainly doing a job for his side at either end, scoring inside 90 seconds and then keeping that one off the line from the header that came in as Carson then takes that free kick long. Rangers have picked up possession once more. They could do very much with a a goal back before half-time. They've won themselves a free kick, quickly taken. They're in a hurry. They know that they have been put. It's an own goal. It's an own goal. Rangers back in it. Tavernier sent it in. Shaughnessy on the stretch, and from 6 or 7 yards out, diverts it past the absolutely helpless Trevor Carson. Dessers was looking at the back post. Shaughnessy probably did have to go for it. He couldn't have taken the risk of leaving it for Dessers potentially in there, but all he succeeded in doing is divert it beyond his own keeper. Rangers have a lifeline. Dundee 2, Rangers 1.
Yeah, listen, it was great ball in from Tavernier. I think you're right, Al. I think Shaughnessy has to go and deal with it. It didn't look that hard. I think he's got to deal with it a little bit better, but Dessers was in behind him, and I think he was aware of him there, that who would have had a chance to finish.
Well, Rangers, who have been pretty poor in this first half, all of a sudden find themselves back in the contest. James Tavernier with it was a good delivery in, but diverted past his own keeper by Joe Shaughnessy. Here come Rangers again. Tavernier into the box, knocked away by McGee, picked up by Raskin. Out to the left hand side it goes to Yilmaz. Rangers looking now for an equaliser before the break, which you'd be hard pushed to say they deserve it, but they would certainly take it if it did arrive. They're now on the defensive as Suter going back towards his own goal, just nods it down to Butland, and into the final minute of the opening 45. Dundee 2, Rangers 1. It has been quite a first period here at Dens Park. Shaughnessy scoring at either end now, tapping in to make it 2-0 to Dundee, but diverting the ball past his own keeper just a moment ago to reduce the deficit for Rangers, as Butland goes long for Dessers, who nudges it down to Egeman. Good control from him, slides it back through. Dessers is in, trying to level up. Another good save from Carson. Another moment when Cyril Dessers really should be scoring, though.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the best chance of the three he's had. I mean, that should have been his hat-trick. Great play again from Egeman. He's really started to, just in the last 5-10 minutes, get really into the game and do some real good stuff.
Yeah, 3 minutes added on at the end here, but Carson shouldn't have been given a hope there as Dessers bore down on goal. Egeman playing him in, but managed to stick out the right foot, Trevor Carson, to knock it away. Tavernier sends a long throw in, won by Silla. Barron gets it back out to Tavernier, right hand side of the box, up against Murray. He goes back to Barron once more, just at the edge of the penalty area. Tiffany with him, nudges it back to Tavernier again, sends it into the 6-yard box, straight into the arms of Trevor Carson. 45.5 minutes played of this first period at Dens Park, with the scoreline Dundee 2, Rangers 1. Trevor Carson then with the ball inside his own penalty area. Rangers certainly, they've given themselves a chance going into the second period. That I don't think will be enough to save them for a pretty stern talking to from Barry Ferguson at the interval. Will it work in the second half? Well, a bit of time to play yet in this first period as Sterling picks up midway inside his own half, plays it down the middle, won by Donnelly. He heads it forward. Raskin will just head it out to his left hand side to Yilmaz. He plays it back to Belgian midfielder Raskin, just inside his own half, looking forward, no obvious options on, so plays it to his right to Suter. Suter into the feet of Egeman. Lovely turn again, finds Dessers again. Dessers could be in once more. Again he's denied by Carson. My goodness, that has been quite the one-on-one battle between Dessers and Carson, and so far Carson's come out well on top as the ball's played back into the area. Tavernier right hand side now, plays it back to Conor Barron. That could quite comfortably be Cyril Dessers' 4th goal had he been more clinical this evening. As it is, he's got none as Raskin sends it back in, cleared by Shaughnessy. Diamonde could make nothing of it and hammered clear over the halfway line, but Rangers enjoying the ascendancy just in these last few minutes of the first period. Suter, big diagonal, looking for Yilmaz. It won't reach him as McGee gets his head to it and finds Adewumi. 2-1 Dundee lead in the final minute of added on time. Adewumi crosses the halfway line, back comes Yilmaz, but it's still Adewumi out to the right to Mulligan now, about 20 yards from the byline, attacking Balogun, swings it in, it's a good ball, doesn't quite reach Murray. An important touch there from Dujon Sterling to take it off the toes of Simon Murray, and it's going to be a throw into Rangers in the end, but another lightning counter-attack from Dundee.
Yeah, I mean, terrific. Mulligan is a real threat, you know, when he pushes into that wide right area, and a really good cross into the box. But Adewemi as well, they do look really threatening when they break on top of Rangers.
Tavernier then with the throw-in. That's the last act of a pulsating first half at Dens Park. The home crowd delighted for the most part from what they've seen. Their side going 2 goals up in the opening 19 minutes as Finlay Robertson, I beg your pardon, sent in the corner kick from the right-hand side, volleyed home by Simon Murray inside 2 minutes. Dessers hit a chance wide and then had a chance saved before Joe Shaughnessy tapped in after a terrible error from Jack Butland on 19 minutes to make it 2-0 to the home side. It was only in the last few minutes of that first period that Rangers began to come into it. Eagleman had a shot well pushed away by Carson, and then Murray saved one on the line from a header to keep his side 2-0 up, but Tavernier put a ball into the box. It was diverted past his own keeper by Shaughnessy to reduce the arrears as far as Rangers were concerned, before Dessers was again twice denied by Carson in quick succession when he really should have scored at least one, probably arguably all 4 of the chances he's had he should have buried, but as it is, he hasn't been able to take any of them. And so at half-time at Dens Park, it is Dundee 2, Rangers 1.
The Scottish Premiership.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
On BBC Sounds, lurking in the shadows of a £7 billion industry.
You were lying to the investors.
Correct, 100%.
Sam Polling uncovers the criminals profiteering off of Scotland's most famous export. Whiskey.
Millions missing.
I wonder if I get my money back.
An FBI investigation.
How do you sleep at night?
A trail of victims.
47,000, 76,000.
£103,000.
Hunting the whiskey bandits. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Our second commentary of the day, Dundee 2, Rangers 1 at half-time. Ian McCall is alongside Al there at Dens Park. Ian, it's been a terrific game, very, very open.
It's been a magic game, Kenny. I mean, it really open, and just some of the things we thought might happen before the game have happened. But the story of the half, I'm afraid, it's got to be Dessers' 4 chances. I mean, I think for 2 of them, and a lot of the times it was good movement from Cyril Dessers. 2 of them, he got his shot away. It was a decent strike, but there's 2 of them that are absolute sitters. The one when he's trying to hold off Shaughnessy, and the one he missed kicks. So, although Rangers haven't been up their best, and I think the big thing is that Tiffany and Adewemi pushing Yilmaz and Tavernier back, which really negates a 3 at the back if you want to play in a positive way. But Rangers certainly finished the half strong. So it gives Barry Ferguson a choice. Does he change? Does he go to a 4? Or does he think we'll give it 10 minutes because we were right in the ascendancy towards half-time?
Plenty more to come. Full second half commentary right here on BBC Radio Scotland from Al Lamont and Ian McCall. We kicked off, of course, at 2 o'clock this afternoon. 4 games kicked off in the top flight at 3. Let's now bring you some managerial reaction. Celtic beat Hearts by 3 goals to 0. Let's hear from the Celtic manager, Brendan Rodgers. He was speaking with Martin Dowden.
Brendan, I think it's fair to say Hearts started pretty well, but how impressed were you with the way your team responded to that and basically had the game done by half-time?
Well, very, very pleased. I think that obviously Hearts, who'd been playing a diamond, have obviously seen Rangers and Hibs play here, so felt that maybe that was going to be the best solution for them to get joy in that press. We've obviously analysed our Rangers' performance and knew some of the areas that we needed to be better in. And I thought the players dealt with that so well. And I think if you look at all 3 goals, how we played through the press and the pressure, especially the first goal, was really impressive. And Hearts under Neil over these last numbers of months, they've made a real jump in performance level. So we knew this was going to be a tough game. And I think for all the players to come back after an international break and play with that connection and that authority, I was so pleased.
It's the clinical nature of the goals and the execution was really impressive. I mean, moving from back to front as well so quickly.
Yeah, and I think that's what we didn't do, which surprised us because we've done it all season when we played against Rangers. That press that comes, which we've dealt with many times against various teams at all levels, we didn't do that against Rangers. So that was something that we looked at, spoke about, and today was much better. I think you can see in the rotations that we had within the team then, and like I say, all 3 goals were so well worked and of such a high quality.
It's easy for journalists like me to go, oh, Dazimeda gets a double, but that's 30 goals in a season, and for you, I'm not thinking that you probably imagined he would get to that point at this stage. Or did you?
Well, we know it's his job to score goals, and I think that we've said before that if he plays through the middle, he'll score goals, and if he plays wide, he'll create and score goals. But I think that you see what he gives the team. Firstly, the pressing, the relentless mentality to press, and then that creates opportunities. And obviously, the first goal was a brilliant pass by Callum. We worked and rotated the game well to find the space, and he can finish, and now we expect him to finish.
Do you think he's maybe taking on a bit more responsibility after Kyogo Furuhashi obviously leaving, that he feels more like he's the main man that has to deliver goals?
No, not at all. I just think it's the role that he plays. If he plays wide, he takes the responsibility to run in behind, to press. If he plays central, same idea, only now he's in that sort of corridor central where he can get in on goal. I think what's been really, really impressive though has been his finishing ability, because when he's in, you now really, really fancy him to score, and he's got all different types of finishes. So I think his finishing has been really impressive.
Yami Sinisalo, there's obviously a bit of interest in how he would cope. I think he coped well from what I could see.
Yeah, I thought he had played with great authority, and it was a good test for him because Hearts are a good team, press it well, so he's going to have to deal with the ball, and I thought he dealt with that really well. He made a really important save at 0-0, a little bit of a deflection from a corner that comes off when he saves it. Everything else, I thought he showed really, really good composure, and very pleased for him to get the clean sheet.
The Celtic manager, Brendan Rodgers, their victory today, 3-0 over Hearts. Let's now hear from the Aberdeen manager, Jimmy Tilleen. 4-1 victors over Motherwell today. He was speaking with our reporter, Tyrone Smith.
Jimmy, you must be delighted with what you saw from your team today.
Yeah, I think it was a really good collective team effort today. I think we start the game really well, and then they score, I think, more or less the first time they arrive. And sometimes the teams can react in another way, but the belief we have in our parts and what we have to do, it was nice to see the reaction the team gave after this. The response from the goal was really good to see. That's see that we have a clear identity and a clear line what we want to achieve.
Because we've spoken a few times this season about the starts to games, and Aberdeen did start the game very well from a playing point of view, but when that goal goes in for Motherwell, do you think here we go again?
No, I think I think we have the last, even before the break, we have been growing again as a team. We have some injuries before, and we still have some injuries, but the squad is growing, and players is develop and take more responsibility. It's not so much about football sometimes, it's also about responsibility for the result of the game, how they balance the team. If you think about Clarkson's performance today, it was really good to see. His attacking ability we already know, but now we also balance the team really well. So it's a lot of things that players take more and more responsibility, and they feel important and contribute for a good season.
Have you been waiting for a performance like that today to come again, and were you always confident that it would?
We see the players on the training pitch every week, and we have done some. We see players is getting better and better. Even Alfie, since he arrived, has growing as a player, and of course the new players arrive in the window, how they adapt to their new teammates. It creates some healthy competition inside the squad, so a lot of players is pushing to play in the training sessions. Graham Shinnie, as a left back, was really strong today. So I like the way we're growing as a team, because you need the squad to be good through a season and then also in fighting the cups.
Defenders don't often get the headlines, but Alfie's obviously scored a goal today. But he's a young man, and you can tell that he's going to be. He's got the potential to be some defender, hasn't he, when he's later in his career?
Yeah, that's why we have a loan with him, but I also like his way, his approach to the game, and he knows what he needs to improve, and he's focused on these right things, and he looks stronger and sharper every game he play. And also with Mats beside him, Mats is a really good impact in the team with his calmness and leadership. So I think we have some good competition also in the future, and we need to use the whole squad all the way.
That's top 6 now secure. Does that take a little bit of the pressure off, and you can now attack the European places with a real kind of confidence and belief?
We have done the whole season, and that's what our goal is. So nothing has changed, but it's good to be, of course, top 6. But still, we have the aim for the season is to arrive to the European, and it's still really tight in the table. But the only way for us to do is take game by game and recover. Now we have another difficult game away next weekend, so we have to prepare for that one.
Jimmy, well done today.
Yeah, very good victory for Aberdeen today, 4-1 over Motherwell. It was a really sore one for Kilmarnock in Paisley. St Mirren very, very good today. 5-1 victors. So we're at it right from the start there. There were a couple of goals up inside the first 10 minutes, actually. The opener coming from Kylan Boyd-Munce on 6 minutes. A duel with a nice penalty on 9 minutes, and really cruised from there on in. Bruce Anderson with a consolation goal from the penalty spot deep into the game for Derek McInnes's team. Let's now hear from the Kilmarnock manager. He spoke with our reporter Callum MacDonald.
Right, Derek, just if you can sum up that game for us.
It's difficult, to be honest. I thought the conditions early part of the game, we didn't deal with 2 mistakes for the goal. The initial 2 goals from St Mirren. I think got to get more pressure on the ball, but I think we should be saving that first shot. And then the second goal, just a mistake. Lewis probably dives in and gives the referee a decision to make. So we find ourselves 2-0 down, I think 9-10 minutes into the game. We needed to play forward more. I thought we kept putting ourselves in a wee bit of bother. But in terms of actually responding to going 2-0 down, I actually thought we were all right in the first half. And we spoke half-time about trying to... It's a different type of game with the wind, and it's more going to come across the pitch. And I thought we actually started the second half all right. I thought we were good in the game. I thought we... you see the difference at Mirren, where the second half, they just played forward. The goalkeeper kicked everything, played percentages. In Scottish football, sometimes in those sort of conditions, that's what you've got to do. And I don't think we quite done that well enough in the first half. So we had a mountain to climb, but I still felt if we could get the next goal, there was an opportunity to get something for the game. But we lose a really poor third goal. We give away possession. We then, as a consequence, give away a corner for St Mirren to get up the pitch. And they score for a shot for the edge of the box. And again, similar to the first one, we don't get quite enough pressure on the ball, and we find ourselves with a mountain to climb. And just at that stage, at 3-0, you're starting to think, right, do we just try and make sure we don't lose any more, because obviously goal difference could be pivotal, and we lose another one, which was again a mistake. So a really disappointing afternoon. I apologise to the supporters for that. It's not good enough. They should expect better for the team, and we expect better. Listen, you can lose a game of football, and there's reasons for maybe 1 or 2 of the goals, but second best throughout, unfortunately for us. I thought we made St Mirren better than they needed to be, and we have to be a lot closer to them, and the game should be far more evenly contested. I don't think there's a lot between us and St Mirren, but today, at certain points in the game, I thought they were more streetwise, and I've always felt we were a wee bit more streetwise in certain teams, and play conditions, play situations well. We've been that over a while here. But today we were second best, and we took a right sore one. It's not what we're looking for. We came here with a lot of optimism. I feel as though we've had a good training week, but we just never really turned up. And when you don't turn up for your work and you lose poor goals, St Mirren were good enough to punish us. The league table, there's not a lot between us and St Mirren. There's never been a lot really between the two teams. We can only apologise. We have to own that, and there is a tinge of embarrassment and humiliation about it, but in the big scheme of things, we've got to now double down now and just make sure that we're better next week, because there's another opportunity next week to get 3 points. We could do with the 3 points, we really could. Everybody could do with a bit more encouragement, a bit more confidence to attack the remaining games of the season. So the players will work hard this week. We'll try and get ourselves ready for that game next week at Motherwell. And everybody from a Kilmarnock persuasion now really needs to stick together and work towards getting a victory next Saturday.
Derek McInnes there, Ian McCall, a man, of course, that you know very well. He's got to be feeling some degree of pressure right now. Looking at the live table, there's still 45 minutes to go at Dens Park, the game you're covering for us. But Dundee 34 points, Kilmarnock 32 in that playoff spot at the bottom of the table now. St Johnstone, they look adrift, 26 points. It's got to be a concern in the manner of that defeat today. St Mirren were right at it from the start. Kilmarnock were never in that game.
Yeah, listen, absolutely. I think he's right. When any manager can lose football matches, I've done it many times, and the two guys down there have probably done it. But it's a manner of defeat. You know, obviously I didn't see the Goor travelling up to the game here, but I didn't see the goals that they lost. But to lose 5-1 against a team that you've got a really good record against recently, and their position in the league table and the run of form they're in, it's tough times ahead. And I think both Dundee and Kilmarnock will be hoping for Ross County to get beaten tomorrow, because you need to drag somebody else into that. Down the bottom there. Right at this minute, if Ross County win, they're isolated, and it's basically a shootout. Unless St Johnstone turn it around amazingly after the split, it's a shootout between two old pals, Derek McInnes and Tony Docherty, to who finishes in the playoff position.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to watch that, of course. They could really do with the 3 points this evening. Dundee, they are ahead against Rangers, but the second half, if it's anything like the first, should be an absolute belter. So all the action to come now from Dens Park. Dundee against Rangers with Ian McCall and Alistair Lammett.
Thanks again, Kenny. You join us as Dundee re-emerge onto the surface out there. Rangers already there, having made 2 changes at half-time. And, Barry Ferguson could probably have replaced any of half a dozen players. What he has done is, as far as I can see, Leon Balogun is not out there, and nor is Connor Barron. And the players that have come on, Bailey Rice, who's essentially a straight swap in there for Barron, but looks like they've got a back 4 with Yanis Hadji coming on to add to the attack. So Sterling and Suter now are the central defensive pairing, with Tavernier and Yilmaz as straightforward fullbacks. Bailey Rice into the heart of the midfield as Dundee prepare to get us back underway, albeit there's a false start here. Now Scott Tiffany will knock the ball all the way back to Trevor Carson. And Ian, how do you imagine those changes that Barry Ferguson has made will affect the game? And are you a little bit surprised at the personnel involved?
Well, I thought in the first half an hour of the game that it looked an obvious change to go to about 4. But the way it was a tough decision for Barry Ferguson, because the way they finished the half, they were very much on top, but he's chosen to go to a 4. I don't know whether maybe Balogun's picked up a little injury. I don't know, but I'm very surprised that Yilmaz is still on the pitch, to be honest.
It's a free kick to Rangers, which John Suter has rather bought down at the corner flag, and I think the Dundee fans not entirely impressed with some of the decision making here by the officials. Their side leading by 2-1, and Rangers looking to get back on level terms at the start of this second period. Eagman, who improved as the half went on, fires it inches wide. It certainly looked very, very close from our position at the back of the main stand. And Trevor Carson got down to his right-hand side, didn't reach it, but fortunately for him, it flew the other side of the post, and it does remain Dundee 2, Rangers 1.
Yeah, it's just a match-up. Bailey Rice has come on and played he's going to play in the sitting role. Diamondi and Raskin in front of him, and a front 3 of Eagleman, Dessers and Hadji off the right-hand side.
Yeah, well, let's see how Dundee deal with that. You would expect Rangers to go for it to an extent in this second period, and they've got absolutely nothing to lose in the league, really. Clear in second, but and never going to threaten Celtic at the top of the table. So it's all about just getting as many wins as they possibly can to improve morale and put themselves in the best possible position for the European games, which are really the only competitive ones they have left. The doubleheader against Athletic Bilbao will be live here on Sports Sound in the coming couple of weeks, as Dundee have a throw-in down in front of Barry Ferguson's dugout there, right hand side, as they come forward to be taken by Jordan McGee midway inside his own half. A couple of minutes gone in this second period, then it's down the right hand side, intercepted though by Yilmaz, who again has given it away to Raskan, just looking to find Raskan, but it's Silla who emerged with possession. Murray's got to that ball, gets into the area, swept away by Dujon Sterling, who's one of few Rangers players who you could say has had a decent game so far this evening. Raskan now forward to Eagman. Eagman holds off his marker and then slips it to Raskan once more. Out to the right hand side is Hadji. Hadji up against Larkesh now. Gets almost to the bar and cuts it back. The header from Raskan, and then Dessers on the stretch can't really force the ball to any great effect towards goal. It's an easy take for Trevor Carson. 3 minutes of the second half played. Dundee 2, Rangers 1.
Yeah, Eagman finished the half really well, and he started this half really well. He's just playing kind of, him and Hadji are just playing narrowing in. Just, it's almost like a midfield box, but in attack there's three up at times.
Here's Donnelly. He's given it away to Raskan in the middle of the park though, and then Bailey Rice, who's making his first appearance since starting against Queen's Park, a game that the Rangers fans and players alike would sooner forget. That the young man who played for the Scotland under-21s in that dreadful 6-1 defeat by Iceland in the international break is on in this second half as Dundee emerge with possession. It's Larkesh getting forward over the halfway line, trying to find Murray. Suter just swipes at it and plays it high up in the air, allowed to bounce by Adewumi. He then gets it beyond Yilmaz, and Mulligan's into the penalty area. Right hand side, can he find a cross? Yes, he can. Tiffany's there. Oh, he should score. Oh, he's sliced it well wide at the back post. He's just made a really poor connection with it as it was put on a plate for him by Mulligan. You cannot ask any more of Mulligan there, and Tiffany arriving at the back post really has to make it 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, a fantastic cross again from Mulligan. Yeah, I watched Tiffany. He ran 40-50 yards to get on the end of that. It's a simple side foot finish. I think he's just got to score, get on target, it's a goal.
Yeah, I mean, a player of his quality will score that 99 times out of 100. But not on that occasion. But Dundee have won it back in the midfield again. Here they come. It's Tiffany once more. Sterling gets enough on it, and then Mulligan goes for it. A daisy cutter from distance, but Butland on that occasion gets everything behind it, and it remains 2-1. But Dundee are certainly not going to give up their lead without a fight as Eagman slips through Dessers. Is this the time for Sirius Dessers? Yeah. Yes, it is! The equaliser for Rangers as Eagman threads it through for Cyril Dessers, who rounds the keeper. There was a defender going back on the line, but it's played through his legs by Dessers on the left-hand side of the box, and all of a sudden it's Dundee 2, Rangers 2.
Just a minute earlier, Scott Tiffany misses an absolute snip to be 3-1 up, and listen, it's a lightning counter-attack. Really good movement again from Dessers. I don't think he put it, it might be offside with here, but I don't think he put it through the defender's leg. I don't think he meant to do that. No. That was a wee bit of luck there.
Yeah, no, there was a suspicion of offside, certainly, as Eagman slipped it to Dessers. My instinct was that he was just on, but certainly I was proved wrong in that regard when Shaughnessy was flagged onside. And it's actually going to be chopped off. Yeah, he's just offside, and the celebrations are amongst the home fans now as Cyril Dessers, who thought eventually he'd got the better of Trevor Carson, but the decision goes against him, and so it remains Dundee 2, Rangers 1. 8,710 inside the ground, and the home fans among them absolutely delighted at that.
It's just a magic game. I mean, it's an absolutely magic game. There's more goals in this game. It must have been a wee bit more clearer offside than we thought from up here, because the VAR didn't take long there.
No, they certainly didn't. So a reprieve though for Dundee, who thought perhaps just for a moment that their 2-goal advantage had slipped away either side of half-time, and they will know that there is still work to be done here if they're to claim the 3 points against Rangers for the first time since November of 2017. 2-1 they lead then. Almost 7 minutes played in this second period as the rain teems down and the wind continues to howl here at Dens. Better weather to come, thankfully, in the week ahead, but not this evening on Tayside, as Rangers continue to trail then, having seen that goal chopped off. Claims for handball against Diamondi in the middle of the park, nothing given as Raskan picks up on the left hand side, plays it forward for Eagman. Eagman down the left flank. He's well challenged though by Mulligan, who's having another terrific game. Ian, I mean, I've heard you speaking about him a couple of times now, having watched him, but you know, he's a player who just continues to improve.
Yeah, listen, this is... He played against my Thistle team 2 or 3 occasions when he was a lot younger, and he looks like he's going to develop into the next Cameron and get, unfortunately for the Dundee fans, maybe go to a, not a higher level, but maybe a bigger club. But he looks a proper player.
Yeah, really brilliant energy down the right flank where he's playing at the moment. Very strong player, and no shortage of talent as well. And it's I think I mentioned it in that Dundee derby as well, but a really good crop of players at that 22 years of age, Cameron and Mulligan among them, as the offside flag is given against Dundee on this occasion. 8 minutes played in the second period. Rangers have a free kick, having started the second half relatively brightly, and but a goal chopped off Cyril Dessers, who's been denied on a number of occasions in the first period by Trevor Carson. He went round them there, played it through the legs of the defender on the goal line, hit the back of the net, but the officials chopped it off eventually for offside as Tavernier comes forward, and now it's Raskan. Raskan looking to play in Dessers, left hand side of the box. You have to race to keep that one in. He's failed to do so, I think. Yeah, indeed, David Dickinson points towards the goal kick. The wind really not doing him any favours there, and his touch wasn't great either.
Yeah, I think it was more to do with his touch in the wind, Al, I'm afraid. But he's got to be take a better first touch. Brilliant play by Tavernier, brilliant play by Raskan. He's got to do better.
Goal kick then to Dundee, 54 played. Dundee 2, Rangers 1. As Trevor Carson just waves Shaughnessy and Donnelly upfield before he takes this goal kick long. And Barry Ferguson and Neil McCann in discussion there at the edge of the technical area, wondering how to change this game for the better. Silla again snapping in there to make sure the ball didn't reach Raskan. Now it's Mulligan right hand side. Raskan sticks in a boot, plays it off Mulligan, and it's a Rangers throw in midway inside their own half. 55 minutes on the clock here as Dundee continue to lead by 2-1. Murray and Shaughnessy putting them 2 goals to the good. Shaughnessy then diverting the ball into his own net late in the first period to reduce the arrears as far as Rangers are concerned. Here's Larkesh coming forward, tries his luck from distance, and catches it with the wrong side of his boot, the outside, and it swerves well wide, and it's behind for a goal kick to Rangers. 55 on the clock. Dundee 2, Rangers 1.
I think it's important to know how important Silla is to the Dundee team, and the amount of times those big long legs just get and it's intelligent positioning by him. He just gets in the way of things and breaks play up.
Forward it goes in the direction of Dessers. He can't hold on to it. McGee plays it back to Carson, who calmly deals with it under a bit of pressure there from Raskan. Adewumi tries to flick it on to Murray, but Suter was in the way, and he gets it to Sterling, who releases Tavernier down the right hand side. Coming forward into the box it goes. Dessers climbs just over the top. It's a good climb, to be fair to him. He didn't look to be favourite to be able to get that on target, and indeed he was just too much on the stretch to be able to get the downward header in, well over the top in the end, and it's still Dundee 2, Rangers 1.
Yeah, I mean, good movement again. Dessers, I wouldn't say that's a full chance, but I don't want to sound too on him all the time, but I think he's got to do a little bit better than that. I think it's a terrific cross from Tavernier.
There's just going to be a momentary stoppage here, and thankfully I was warned about this pre-match. It's marking the end of Ramadan, and what it is allowing the Muslim players among the 2 squads to take on an energy bar or two, having been fasting obviously during Ramadan, and you can see Hamza Igman certainly down, and he's getting some energy on board. So just a short break for that to happen, and also allows the managers to just get the players in again in a little huddle and impart a few words of wisdom, and then we'll get right back to it. Just while we are stopping here, just to warn you also that there will be a split in our frequencies relatively shortly, basically at just before 7 o'clock, and what will happen is that if you want to continue listening to the football, you'll have to be tuned to Radio Scotland Extra only on 92 to 95 FM. You'll have Take the Floor with Gary Innes, so if you want to continue listening seamlessly to the football, I suggest you make sure now that you're tuned to Radio Scotland Extra, and that way you'll be able to hear full commentary as we see out this fascinating encounter at Dens Park, which Dundee lead by 2-1. With that break now pretty much over, and Dundee will restart proceedings with the goal kick, and Trevor Carson will launch that forward. So you've got about 10 minutes or so until that split in frequencies, but just to give you an early heads up. 13 minutes played then in this second period. 2-1 the home side lead as Rangers pick up in the midfield, and it's Egeman just outside the centre circle. I think he was half thinking about going for goal, as it almost sat nicely for him, but in the end he thought better of it. He finds Hadji right hand side instead, up against Larkesh, into the box, can't get the cross in, well blocked by Larkesh. Does come to Tavernier right hand side though. Tiffany holds him up, finds Hadji once more, into Raskin at the edge of the box, plays it back the way to Diamondi, just outside the penalty area. Hadji on the turn, trying to lose his marker, he in goes for goal, he's off target. He claims he's been fouled there by Larkesh, but the referee's not interested, and it will just be a goal kick to Dundee. Do you think the Rangers changes have had any material impact in the game so far, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, I still think Dundee look really, really dangerous. I think by the same token, Rangers look dangerous with the three playing. Well, it's almost a box in midfield and the two guys getting further up. But when the fullbacks are so important in this formation, I think what I would have done is probably take Yilmaz on and put on Jefty, because he looks short of confidence.
Here come Dundee, Murray into the penalty, left hand side, will need to try and cut this back for Adewumi. He did that, and Adewumi sweeps it just wide of goal. That could not have been far away there, as Murray did really well to keep that in and find his teammate. But Adewumi, who scored in the 1-1 draw here against Rangers last time out, just sends it the wrong side of the post as far as he's concerned, and it remains Dundee 2, Rangers 1. As Suter takes responsibility and drives Rangers forward, but he's lost possession. Adewumi picks up, but he's lost it now, and Diamondi gets it to Bailey Rice, who plays it out to this left hand side. Too much in the pass though for Egeman, and Rangers are going to make another change here, and that change that Ian was suggesting just a moment ago, with Jefty coming on in place of Ridvan Yilmaz, is indeed going to happen. The Brazilian replacing the Turk. It has not been a happy afternoon for Ridvan Yilmaz, and on comes Jefty on the hour mark to replace him.
Yeah, I mean, I think Barry probably thought maybe now that he should have done that at half time. But again, listen, Simon Murray, great play, you know, and I think Adewumi's got to do a little bit better, but Murray's been a live wire the whole game.
Certainly has, he always is, isn't he, really? And a real asset to Dundee as Adewumi could be in here. Adewumi lifts over Jack Butland, is over the top as well. He was taken out by Jack Butland after he got the shot away, but it will simply be a goal kick to Rangers, although I think VAR might well have a look at that, because he was absolutely wiped out. Yes, he'd already taken the shot on and he missed the target, but Butland completely took him out of play. I just feel like he should probably be doing better with the actual chance here. I know it's a fair old distance from goal.
Yeah, I mean, it was the wrong decision. You know, it was a poor effort, but it was so on just to touch the ball round Butland. Butland's either going to take him down, get sent off, or he's just going to tap it into an empty net. Just a wrong choice from Adewumi. Great chance.
Yeah, just another simple ball over the top though, isn't it? Rangers, again, all at sea as they chase the game. 2-1 down, just beyond the hour mark. And again, Suter not doing particularly well, and it breaks to Tiffany, edge of the penalty area. And he goes for goal, and he's found it! Dundee restore their 2-goal advantage, and Scott Tiffany fires beyond Jack Butland. This is absolutely brilliant from Dundee, looking to move themselves out of that relegation playoff spot, and they are taking a major step towards that. It's Dundee 3, Rangers 1.
Well, listen, just in the last 5 minutes, that last been coming. Adewumi's had a couple of great chances. One he's got to score with. Tiffany, a player I know very well. He used to do that all the time in the red and yellow of Parry Thistle. Great run. He had only one thought. Very direct. That's when he's at his best. Very direct, and a great strike into the bottom corner.
I mean, again, it's John Suter, like, bombing up the field. Yes, he's trying to open things up for his side, but he just runs into trouble. And
yeah, I mean, the fact was he was bombing up the field in the first half, and he did it quite well, but there's a back three then, so there's two behind him, and maybe Conor Barron used to sit behind. He's going out there and he's leaving a big space when he loses the ball. He's not lost the ball much today, mind you, but he did there.
So 3-1, Dundee leads. Rangers once more have it all to do. Suter again up against Adewumi and Murray. He takes them both on and then finds the pass to Diamondi. Tavernier now inside his man, tries to drive it at goal, claims for handball against Aaron Donnelly. It was blocked inside the penalty area, nothing given by the referee. Play continues, Rangers back in possession into the feet of Hadji. He can't get the better of the goal scorer Tiffany, who has made it 3-1 to Dundee here at Dens Park against Rangers. And there's going to be another change coming here for Rangers, and it's going to be Danilo to come on, and it's Hamza Igman who's making way. To me, and that feels a little bit harsh on Igman, who
it is harsh.
Either side of half time has probably been one of their better players.
Yeah, I mean, it is harsh. I mean, I think the man that's missed all the chances is Cyril Dessers. Danilo's the direct replacement, but listen, it's a throw of a dice, isn't it? They're 3-1 down, they need a goal to get right back in it, and there's still goals to come in this game.
Certainly wouldn't bet against it as the ball's played into the Dundee box by Jefty, and it's knocked out of play. Here's Jefty on the left-hand side, away from Silla to the byline, into the penalty area it comes. Dessers goes for goal, inches wide from Dessers. It's just not his day so far, at least. And he looks to the heavens, wondering what he has to do to find the back of the net. It remains Dundee 3, Rangers 1.
I've got to give, I think that was a good effort. I mean, that was a tough one to take. If he'd have got on target, it's a definite goal. He maybe should have done a wee bit better, but it was a good effort from Dessers, a good movement.
Dundee change coming. Their first of the afternoon is Finlay Robertson is going to be replaced by Cesar Garza, the Mexican, in the heart of the midfield. Pretty much a straight swap in there. Just more energy, fresh legs for the final 25 minutes, which Dundee, you would imagine, will need every ounce of that they can get. But they're looking good for the victory just at the moment, that's for sure. As Suter wins the ball, but then Raskan coughs it up to Adewumi. Adewumi going back the way now to McGee. McGee just sends it forward. Percentage ball, which Suter heads back into Dundee territory. Here's the first touch for Danilo, picking up from Raskan. Threads it through again, and Raskan takes a heavy touch, knocks it behind for a goal kick. We've played 65 minutes at Dens Park, and Rangers still 2 goals behind. They got one back just before the interval, but Scott Tiffany's goal in this second period has restored Dundee's advantage. It's Dundee 3, Rangers 1.
I think as well, Al, it's been noticeable young Baylor Rice hasn't up to the pace of the game yet. He's undoubtedly a talented boy, but he's been caught in possession 2 or 3 times. He just needs to be a little bit quicker in possession.
Jefty wins the header from the clearance, the goal kick, and Rangers pick up down the left-hand side. Here is Jefty, nods it down to himself, almost at the byline, cuts it back for Raskan. First time cross-in's not a bad one, headed away though at the near post by McGee, and out for a throw-in on this near side to Rangers. That split in frequencies is coming up in a couple of minutes. Just a reminder that the football will continue on BBC Radio Scotland Extra, as Danilo has it left-hand side, just outside the penalty area, plays it back the way to Rice on the touchline more or less. Back the way to Suter, and infield to Dujon Sterling. Out to James Tavernier it goes, and then into the feet of Diamondi. Diamondi's given it away to Adewumi. Tried the pass and it was easily cut out by the forward. Now it's Tiffany as Dundee seek further goals. It's Garza at the edge of the box. Ball to the back post as Dundee trying to manufacture another shooting opportunity. Murray just lays it back to Tiffany. Tiffany out-muscled there by Diamondi. Diamondi's got away from him. Rangers moving forward. They've got 3-on-3 if they move it quickly. Diamondi with a terrible pass to Silla. He's gone down and he's just slowly picking himself back up. So disappointed with himself, no doubt, because that was an opportunity for Rangers to try and create something new.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Diamondi did really, really well to dispossess Scott Tiffany there, and then just, it's an easy pass, just gives the ball away. 10-yard pass.
Suter leaving that one to Jefty as Sterling plays the ball across the back line. Now it's Raskan on the halfway line. And Bailey Rice picks up, plays it out to the right-hand side to Tavernier. Back into Rice, looking for options just inside the centre circle. Back to Suter it goes. Jefty now, all pretty pedestrian from Rangers just at the moment. They need to find a bit of inspiration, but they've given up possession once more, and it's Donnelly picking up left-hand side. He almost gives it away, but Larkesh does really well against Tavernier. And now it's Tiffany. It's a poor ball from Tiffany, trying to thread it through for Adewumi, and Butland easily able to gather. Now it's into Bailey Rice. Now that split in frequencies I was mentioning is almost upon us, so just a reminder that coming up it's a choice of listening on BBC Radio Scotland. Second half commentary from Dens will continue on Radio Scotland Extra only. Meanwhile on 92 to 95 FM it's Take the Floor with Gary Ennis. That gets underway just shortly, and we are coming up to the 7 o'clock news here on BBC Scotland. So hopefully you're still with us for the remainder of second half commentary as Dundee lead Rangers here by 3-1, and there's going to be a stoppage here for an injury to a Dundee player, Cesar Garza, the substitute, who has gone down. Free kick, I think, belatedly given. It didn't seem like David Dickinson had initially taken that decision, but after a fashion and a complaint from Tony Docherty, the award has been made, but no real sign that Rangers are capable of getting back into this again, Ian.
No, I mean, there's a spell there before the Adewumi 2 chances and then the Dundee goal, but they've lost all shape again.
Here's Mulligan down the right-hand side. Poor end product from him on that occasion. It's drifted out of play behind the goal, and it'll be a Rangers goal kick. And Jack Butland will restart proceedings. Just over 20 to play. Rangers with a 2-goal deficit to make up, and they would pretty much bite your hand off for another draw here at the moment, I think. But even that looks beyond them. But Barry Ferguson will be trying to urge his troops on from the touchline. He's out there barking orders, but it looks like they are heading for another disappointing defeat. As Danilo, though, picks up, tries to link with Raskan, but it's just behind him, and McGee knocks it back to Trevor Carson. 20 to play here. Dundee 3, Rangers 1. You listen to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland as Garza picks up and plays it down the left-hand side. An intelligent ball forward for Larkesh. He looks to get the better of Tavernier. Across comes Sterling, and he's fouled, and it'll be a Rangers free kick, I beg your pardon, just outside their own penalty area to the right-hand side, and it's quickly taken. It's Rice out to the left-hand side to Jefty. Jefty comes up to the halfway line. Back goes Adewumi to halt his progress, so he has to go back the way to John Suter, playing on the left-hand side of that central defence now. Dujon Sterling out to the right-hand side to Tavernier. Tavernier comes back infield and back to Dujon Sterling just inside his own half, into the feet of Rice and back to Suter once more. Dundee pretty compact at the moment, difficult to play through. Rangers short of ideas as Jefty picks up, and then Rice gets out to the left-hand side for Danilo. Danilo into the feet of Raskan, edge of the box, turns, gets the shot off, slices it well wide of goal. Poor effort from the Belgian, really got on target, of course, at Celtic Park with the opening goal there with his head, but that was a rash effort with the left foot. 26 minutes into the second period, still Dundee 3, Rangers 1.
Really poor effort, really good play by Raskan. He took it in a half done beautifully, but the shot, he got it all wrong.
Goal kick then for Dundee, who will be just looking to slow the game down to an extent, take advantage of any breaks in play to run the clock down wherever possible as they look to move above Kilmarnock in the league. Even a draw actually would take them above Killie, but they'll be looking for the 3 points which they very much have in their grasp right now. If they can see this out, it would be a massive victory for Tony Docherty's side after such an impressive win across the road at Tannadice a couple of weeks back. But to follow that up with a win over Rangers, a much overdue one they will feel. They've lost possession here deep though in Rangers territory, but again Rangers slack with the passing. They picked up once more through Jeffy to Tavernier though. Midway inside his own half, goes over the top, looking for Dessers. Back goes Shaughnessy. Good strength from Shaughnessy. Just forces that to Trevor Carson. Although it kind of looked like potentially a pass back to Trevor Carson, which he handled, but the referee obviously didn't deem it to be a pass back, just a challenge more than anything else by Shaughnessy, and play allowed to continue. We've got just over a quarter of an hour to go as Simon Murray chases a long ball through the middle from Carson. Unfortunately for him, Butland came out to the edge of his box and managed to grasp that before Murray could plunder his second goal of the evening. 3-1 his sides continue to lead though, Simon Murray providing the opener as Diamondi again overruns it in the middle of the park. And a lot of Rangers big players certainly just have turned in very poor performances as Tom Lawrence prepares to become the final Rangers change of the night. Simon Murray trying to bring it forward down the left. Sterling steps in and Lawrence will come on. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Diamondi who makes way. Indeed, he's just performed below his levels, hasn't he?
He has. I mean, he did show a lot of great energy in the first half, but he's been too loose in possession. I just don't really get why they've not put Raskin at the bottom of the, as a sitting midfielder. He's been, for me, he's Rangers he's been Rangers' best player for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I think he's as good as there is in Scotland right now. So that was a strange one for me, but you can't take nothing away from Dundee. They've played really, really well for the last 15-20 minutes. Simon Murray is getting them up the pitch all the time.
Yeah, he's so good at that, isn't he? And he is just holding the ball up, allowing players to get forward and support, albeit it's an offside and a free kick to Rangers. Just 16 minutes left as Rangers look for a way back into this match as Jeffy plays it back the way to Raskin. And now it's Bailey Rice just inside his own half. He wants Jeffy higher up the park, but he plays it short to him, and then down the left to Raskin it goes. That big moment, that Cyril Dessers equaliser being chopped off was just fractionally offside, as you understand it. And Dundee then going up the park and making it 3-1. Murray goes down under the challenge by Suter, not penalised as Silla just hacks up the park. I think Murray was looking for that and looked to be the correct decision by David Dickinson, but one that often goes in the forward's favour. But on that occasion, the wily striker unable to draw the free kick. Here come Rangers. It's Tavernier from the edge of the box. A blistering effort to reduce the deficit once more. That's vintage James Tavernier from 25 yards. An exocet from the right boot of the Rangers skipper. Past Trevor Carson before he could even think about diving. And it's now Dundee 3, Rangers 2.
Yeah, and I still think there's more goals in the game. Trevor Carson, he absolutely no chance. Whatever you say, Tavernier has his critics over the year, he never ever hides, and that was a magnificent strike and a great goal.
Yeah, James Tavernier playing a captain's role there. He's not quite hit the goal scoring heights of previous season. That's just a fifth of the season for Tavernier, but he has given his side an opportunity to come back and take something from this game. A quarter of an hour left. They are back to within a goal of their hosts, and I certainly wouldn't put money against Ian's prediction of further goals in this game. Neither defence, Dundee have got the poorest defence in the league, and Rangers has been extremely porous for a number of weeks as well, so both attacks are pretty decent as well, you would have to say, as Dessers chases the ball down the left channel into the penalty area. He goes, waiting for support, almost finds Danilo, who's challenged by Garza. Now, who was at fault there? The referee just allows play to continue. Neither a free kick for Dundee nor a penalty to Rangers as Dundee pick up possession and come forward. Murray forces it down the right for Mulligan. 14.5 to play as Murray picks up once more, right hand side. Can he find a teammate in the 6-yard box? No, because John Suter slides in and knocks it behind, as VAR will surely check the challenge that took place inside the penalty. To be honest, I couldn't say whether it was a foul by Garza or on Garza. Ian, I don't know if you had a better view.
Well, I'm sitting right beside you, so no.
50-50, wasn't it?
I would say it's 50-50.
Can't even blame one of these stanchions, which often get in our way here.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, it is being checked. Now,
if I had to say, Al, if I had to give an opinion, I would say I think there'll be a penalty here.
Okay, well, it was a tough one to call, but it was certainly coming together of the two players. It's just a question of who got there fractionally ahead of the other.
That's exactly it, yeah.
And so we're either going to have a Dundee corner here or a penalty at the other end. There was a 3-3 here between Dundee and Celtic, which I had the privilege of commentating on earlier in the season. And Rangers will be hoping to get the opportunity to make it 3-3 here this evening. We await the view of Andrew Dallas, who's the VAR on view. And I think...
No pen,
yeah, that's the decision. So it will be a Dundee corner and a chance to make it 4-2. It's headed away at the near post by Raskan, though. Mulligan gets it back to Larkesh on that right-hand side, chases his own knock on forward, gets it better as Jefty, then he goes down. Tiffany picks up right-hand side, flashes it into the 6-yard box. Tavernier knocks it clear. Garza returns it, just too much on it for Larkesh. Behind for a goal kick. I mean, this match, we've seen a few crackers in recent times. This match has had everything, though, isn't it?
It's just end to end. I mean, it's just you attack us, then we'll attack you. And you know what, as well, it makes a great match. There's been an awful lot of mistakes, which sometimes helps make a great match.
Here's Danilo. Down the left it goes to the Belgian international now, Raskan, almost at the byline, just checks back, comes off McGee, and it's a throw in to Rangers, almost down at the corner flag. Throws it back the way to Jefty, poor control by the Brazilian. Garza steps in, Jefty knocks it out of play. That's really untidy. Yeah, it's a Dundee throw, and it's a correct decision. I think the fans round about us were fearful there that it was going to go in Rangers' favour, but no, it's given to Dundee. We've got just over 11 minutes to play here. Dundee 3, Rangers 2. Fascinating contest, this.
Yeah, I mean, the linesman gave it to Rangers first and then changed his mind, and that made the referee change his mind. But it was the right decision.
Here's McGee at the back for Dundee, just launches that forward. Souttar's underneath it on the halfway line. Heads it down the left channel. Lawrence gets involved for the first time. Played forward by Tavernier, who's cracking goal, worth a watch on Sports Scene tonight at 7:15 on the BBC Scotland channel, along with the game as a whole. To be honest, they'll be doing well to get this down into a 10-minute edit. But Rangers have knocked the ball out on the far side. Sterling and Tavernier unable to link up, and that has been the story. It's been too much of that from Rangers, slack passing.
Absolutely, and every time they seem to get up ahead of steam, you know, it stops because not anything Dundee did, but just one or two really daft. You know, the pass from Yilmaz out the pitch in a promising move, 2 crosses from him. Yeah, I mean, Dundee deserve so much credit for how they've played, but Rangers just at times have been guilty of really sloppy passing.
I mean, Tony Docherty would be absolutely sick if his side don't go on and win this game, see this victory out.
Absolutely. I mean, the chance at the half was Adewemi. He's got to take it by the goal.
Here's Lawrence from distance. Goal! Rangers are level. Fabulous strike from Tom Lawrence. Very similar to James Tavernier just a few moments ago. Really got plenty on it. What a game this has been. And it is Dundee 3, Rangers 3.
It was just unbelievable. I mean, and you know what, Al? There's more goals in this game. I know it's 3-all.
You keep saying
more
that.
Goals.
You keep promising us, you keep delivering.
Absolutely magnificent strike. Tom Lawrence is capable of that when he gets himself into those areas, 20-25 yards from goal. He only had one split, and it was arrowed into the corner.
Superb goal from Tom Lawrence. Well, you have to credit Rangers for the quality of those 2 strikes, because as much as their general play has been below par, if we're being kind, the quality of those last 2 goals from Tavernier and then Tom Lawrence with his 6th of the season to draw his side level have been outstanding, and certainly worthy of earning something from the game. But well, Ian McCall's promised us more goals in the closing 8.5 minutes, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree, but 6 so far, 3 apiece as Adewemi steps in, and then Sterling has to knock it behind for a Dundee corner, and it would be anyone's guess who might get that winning goal if it's going to come.
Absolutely, it could come either end. You've got to think, you've got to think Dessel's got a goal in him after the game he's had.
Yeah, one chopped off, several one-on-ones with Carson, which he's been second best in. But Dundee here with another chance to get themselves back in front. I just said seconds ago that Tony Docherty would be sick if they don't go on and win this. Well, that might be the feeling just at the moment. What they definitely don't want to do is lose it, but they could win it here. as Raskin, though, at the near post heads it clear. 8 to play. Dundee 3, Rangers 3. Brilliant game at Dens Park to round off the Saturday in the Premiership, which has produced a barrel load of goals as Dundee prepare to make at least one change here. Looks like Ethan Ingram, who's stripped and ready to come on. And they've got another corner out on the far side. 7.5 left of the 90 as the corner kick is going to come in left hand side. I think it's Larkesh away over on the far side of the stanchion, definitely in the way of this, but it's swung into the near post. An effort coming in, I think that was McGee getting on the end of it and just knocking it behind, well off target in the end as he tried to hook it goalwards, and Jack Butland will get the opportunity to launch this one long if he so chooses. No, he's gone short to John Souttar. 7 to play. Dundee 3, Rangers 3. It'll take a very brave person to call which way this is going to fall as Tavernier loses possession just outside his own box. It's Tiffany into the penalty area. He comes left hand side trying to manufacture the opening. He's robbed goal by Lawrence, who feeds it forward for Dessers, who's been left 1-on-1 here against Shaughnessy. Danilo trying to get into the penalty area. Dessers looks up, tries to find him. It's missed by McGee, but also nowhere near Danilo, and out on this near side for a throw-in. I'm not sure it's going to go to Dundee. I don't think McGee get anything on it, and it will be a Dundee throw-in with just over 6 minutes left of this contest. Dundee 3, Rangers 3.
Yeah, Dessers broke down the right-hand side really well there. I thought it was a really good ball in the box. Danilo's kind of stayed at the penalty spot, so he really just attacks the 6-yard box. He might have a tap-in.
Throw-in then to Dundee to be taken by McGee. Down the right it goes into Murray, who's backing into Jefty, looking to win the free kick. Nothing given. It's forward into Dessers. Dessers from the angle. Good save, Carson. No one can get there in the rebound apart from Larkesh, who picks up left-hand side of his box. And he's been robbed by Hadji, though. Hadji into Danilo, right-hand side of the area. Tries to play it into Tom Lawrence, who was advancing, couldn't link up as Adewumi picks up. He's lost out to Jefty. Now it's Raskin midway inside the Dundee half. Rangers were ahead of steam here as Lawrence lifts it into the box. Good header away by Shaughnessy. Only as far though as Jefty. 5 to play, 3 apiece at Dens in a pulsating contest. Out to the right hand side it goes as Rangers pick up once more. It's Hadji up against Larkesh. Tries to play it into the feet of Raskin. Silla again gets the long leg stretched out and gets the toe to it, but Raskin eventually picks up possession, sends it into the area, too close to Carson. No, easy take for the keeper, and it remains with 5 to play. Dundee 3, Rangers 3.
Yeah, Rangers are the dominant team now in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Dundee have put a lot of work into the game. You couldn't call it right now.
Carson will just launch this over the halfway line. Silla will contest that one with Bailey Rice. He's done well, and here's Adewumi. Could be in behind Souttar here. Souttar done well to get back at him there. Looked like Adewumi had lost the big central defender just for a moment, and the ball is knocked out on the far side. It'll be a Dundee throw-in, just over 4 minutes left. Ingram, who was stripped and ready to come on, has disappeared again back into the dugout as Dundee manager Tony Doxtay's changed his mind perhaps.
Well, they're still going for it, Al, because they're sending Donnelly over to take the long throw, and the centre backs up into the box.
Yeah, they want the 3 points. A point, as I say, would take them above Kilmarnock on goals scored. Actually, they've got an identical goal difference, but plenty more goals scored than their rivals down the bottom as the ball's played into the Rangers area, away by the Rangers defence and picked up by Garza. Out to the left hand side for Donnelly once more, tries to get it back into the danger area. It's dealt with by Jefty and then Rice out to Danilo. Rangers getting bodies forward here on the counter attack. In they come. It's Hadji on the right hand side of the box, plays it to the back post. Dessers can't reach it, sliding in at the back post. Would have had a tap in if it had just had a yard less on it, but he slid in, couldn't reach it, behind for a goal kick, and it remains Dundee 3, Rangers 3, and 3 to play.
Yeah, lightning break, great ball by Hadji. I think Dessers maybe thought he had to stop to get across his man rather than go full throttle at the back post. Really, really unlucky.
So a goal kick to Dundee, who must have been thinking that he had a first win in 17 against tonight's opponents, and they might yet, but they've been pegged back to 3 apiece as Carson launches the goal kick over the halfway line, flicked on by Silla. Jeffrey's in the way, and it's helped forward by Rice. McGee gets his head to it, and out on the right hand side to Mulligan, but he just delays slightly, almost allowed Danilo in, but Mulligan has recovered to win possession. Souttar's there ahead of Adewumi. Both sides looking to try and win this in the closing 2.5 minutes of the 90. It's Mulligan picking up once more for Dundee, right hand side into Silla. Good ball from him, gets it back, or at least that was the intention of Silla, but he just put too much on the pass, and it's out for a throw-in to Rangers. Midway inside their own half, left hand side, quickly taken by Jeffrey to Souttar, and Dujon Sterling now out to the right hand side to Tavernier, whose goal brought Rangers back into it again at 3-2, and then Lawrence with a sublime effort, much like Tavernier's, to make it 3 apiece as Raskan just presents the ball straight to Silla, then brings him to the ground. It's a free kick to Dundee, which they've taken quickly. Adewumi to Tiffany crossing the halfway line. Raskan finds himself on the deck when he should be back helping his teammates as Murray almost finds Adewumi in the penalty area again. He was completely unmarked there, and fortunately for Rangers, Butland was able to grab that before Adewumi could pounce, and he immediately sets Rangers on the way forward once more. 90 seconds left of the 90 minutes plus added on time, which we'll get an idea of very shortly in terms of how much will be added on at the end. There's a Rangers player down, as Bailey Rice, but the ball's knocked into the Dundee box. Rice is toiling out there, but he'll have to continue because Rangers have made all 5 substitutions. Here's Raskan just outside the penalty area, plays it into the feet of Danilo. Danilo spins, he's got Garza for company, tries to fire it across the penalty area, it comes off Garza and behind for a Rangers corner. Rice continues to limp his way through these final stages here. We're into the last minute of the 90. Rangers looking for a very, very dramatic victory. You would have to say it would be almost ill-deserved, but if they do manage to battle their way back from 2-0 and 3-1 down, it would be also difficult to argue against their spirit. But Dundee looking to, at the very least, hold firm here as Tavernier swings into the 6-yard box, mate at the near post, comes back to Tavernier, a couple of bodies down in the box, but picking themselves up as Hadji finds it, left angle of the box. Now Jeffrey in support, almost at the byline, low ball in, Murray clear, Tiffany tries to help it on, David Dickinson in the way again. It'll be a drop ball in Dundee's favour this time. The home fans not complaining about where that one was going to land when the referee got in the way. 5 minutes added on at the end. We are just ticking into that just now. It is Dundee 3, Rangers 3, and well, who would bet against there being a winning goal here in what has been an absolutely superb watch once again. And hopefully it's been a decent listen as well, as Mulligan comes forward, and now Murray into the box. Murray, can he get the shot off the post? Denied by the upright Simon Murray as his side look to win it. Breaks for Tiffany, left hand side of the area. Can he get the shot off? Looking to find room to get that away, and eventually it's charged down, and Rangers can try and pick up possession once more. Garza's on the ground and he's lost out, and now Rangers come forward. This is incredible, frenetic stuff. It's 4 against 4 at the back. Hadji up towards the edge of the penalty area, looking to get the shot away. It's off target from Hadji. He had plenty of options. I am not sure at all that was the right one he took, especially as his shot was well over the top. And it remains Dundee 3, Rangers 3.
Breathtaking stuff. I mean, Mulligan there to have the energy to go by 2 or 3, knock it through to Simon Murray, and Simon Murray was second favourite to go on it after his touch, hit the inside of the post. Then Rangers come up the park, great play. I think Hadji's right to shoot, he's just got to execute far better.
Sub coming for the home side as we're going to see the introduction of Charlie Riley, and he's going to replace Simon Murray, who was oh so close to what might well have been a winning goal there in the dying seconds, but off the inside of the post, but away to safety rather than nestling in the back of the net, as Dundee search for that elusive victory over Rangers. Trevor Carson prepares to take the goal kick here. Rangers complaining that he's taken too long over it as he launches it eventually over the halfway line. Won by Bailey Rice in the middle of the park, headed on by Hadji. Cleared though by Donnelly. Tavernier will go and retrieve that. Played forward by the Rangers skipper. Dessers could be in here. Right hand inside the box. Oh, he's tucked it home! That is a beautiful finish from Cyril Dessers. It is absolutely bedlam in the away end as Cyril Dessers, who has missed chance after chance throughout the 90 minutes, but up he steps on 90 plus 3 with the deftest of finishes to make it Dundee 3, Rangers 4. What a game this has been!
It's unbelievable. I mean, that's about the fourth time in the game that Dundee went up there, hit the inside of the post, come straight back down. Dessers, I mean, it's a magnificent finish. He doesn't have to hit it hard, he just dinks it past the goalie, and you think it's not going to actually make the net, and it does. It rolls over into the net. Listen, he was due a goal, and there it is.
Absolutely incredible. 23 for the season for Cyril Dessers, and he is absolutely
he could have got to 30 the night, Al.
He could well have done, but he is lapping up the acclaim from the away fans, and well he might, because his endeavours tonight, he's been denied on several occasions, but what a lot of people say about him, Ian, it's absolutely true. He never hides, he never ducks, you know, he'll always get back into the positions to get these opportunities. Absolutely. And that was probably the most difficult chance he's had all night.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you've got to admire him, and he takes some steps. I mean, we're just calling it as he's saying. He's had a lot of decent chances tonight. That was a great finish, top class finish. He doesn't hide, he never hides. He tries to keep going in, he keep goals, just needs to get his ratio up. But I tell you what, that could be a very important goal.
Yeah, well, that is absolutely sickening for Dundee, but they could be in here for an equaliser. Butland's out to deny Charlie Riley. I mean, I think Tavernier must have, I think he must have thought that the keeper was going to run out of play.
Yeah, I think he thought Butland was coming, and I don't know whether he's had a chat, but Butland should come out of play, and he come out of goal, and he should be claiming that. Concentration levels maybe not just there.
Butland then takes the goal kick, coming up there with a big save to ensure there was no equaliser. And it's knocked out of play over on the far side. So Rangers now in the cusp of victory. Tony Docherty looks distraught down here. He cannot believe, and I don't think anyone really inside the stadium can believe, that his side are not going to emerge from this game with anything whatsoever. And they have put so much into it. But as much as we've given Dundee so much credit, you do have to credit the spirit in the Rangers comeback.
Of course you have, and listen, you've got to credit the second and third goals, which are absolute quality, you know, from 20-25 yards, arrowed into the net.
Is there one more last bit of drama as Dundee come forward at the edge of the penalty area? It's Mulligan. Mulligan sends it into the box, but straight into the arms of Butland. A poor execution there from a player who's been terrific throughout the match. We're beyond the 5 minutes added on. It is 4-3 Rangers, having been 2-0 down, having been 3-1 down, back from the dead almost, to secure the 3 points by the looks of it now, as Danilo lays it back to Jefty. He's lost out though. Forward comes McGee. One last chance perhaps for the home side to grab an equaliser now. Rangers have one possession back. It's Jefty on the left hand side, plays it off Silla, out for a throw in, and surely now Rangers will reduce the lead once more at the top of the table to 13 points on Celtic. It's not going to enhance their prospects of the title, but well, it does give them another victory. But a lot of this performance has been unimpressive. Again, Dessers could be in again. Is it number 5? Denied again by Carson. I think he could have taken a touch and put that onto his right foot. He went for it first time. Might it break back to him inside the penalty area? It does. Again, it's Carson saving. Left foot out twice to deny Cyril Dessers a second goal of the evening and put Rangers safe at 5-3 deep into stoppage time. Dundee trying to get it forward. Sterling in the way, just thumps it clear. I mean, Ian's not kidding when he says Cyril Dessers could have made it to 30 for the season this evening. He's had half a dozen chances at least to score. 8. But the crucial thing is that he has taken one of them, and that has surely given his side the victory. But still we play on here. We are now into the 8th minute of added on time. I'm not sure where that's coming from. There was a delay in restarting the game, but not 3 minutes long. But Trevor Carson sends a free kick long into the Rangers penalty area. No Dundee player can get to it. There's the final whistle. The Dundee fans, they cannot believe their side have left the pitch here, taken absolutely nothing from a game which had just about everything. An absolutely phenomenal watch. Dundee were outstanding for large swathes of it, but somehow Rangers picked themselves off the canvas, not once but twice. 2-0 down and 3-1 down, but they have come back to win this one. The scoring started back as early as the 2nd minute when Simon Murray volleyed in a Finn Robertson corner beyond Jack Butland. Then there was a terrible Butland error that gifted Joe Shaughnessy in Dundee a second. That was before 20 minutes had been played. Rangers got a lifeline just before the break when a James Tavernier cross was diverted past Carson by Shaughnessy to make it 2-1. Into the second period, and Dundee restored the 2-goal advantage as Scott Tipperary, just after the hour mark, drove into the box and fired past the Rangers keeper to make it 3-1. But then Rangers in the closing stages, and it looked like a point was beyond them, they dug deep, and Tavernier and Lawrence, within a couple of minutes of each other, both fired sublime efforts from outside the penalty area past Trevor Carson to make it 3-2 and then 3-3. Simon Murray hit the post in injury time as Dundee looked for a winner, and incredibly Rangers went up the other end, and Cyril Dessers, with his most difficult chance of the evening, dinked it over the outrushing Trevor Carson and marking his 100th Rangers appearance with a winning goal, making it here at Dens Park on an incredible evening. Dundee 3, Rangers 4.